Shalom. I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So I'm on Matthew 18, and it reads, At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushai, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushai called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little sons, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So the child is a metaphor, right? The child is a metaphor because the little child represents the prophets, the elect, okay, the babes in the truth, right? Let me see. Let's get a quick precept. It's in Matthew 21. See, it's a very close chapter, showing you what it's talking about. It gives you the precept to gain understanding on what that child is. All right. It says, and let me see, verse Matthew 21:16, and said unto him, Hearest thou what these say? And Yahushua said unto them, Yeah, have you never read, out of the mouth of babes and sucklings thou hast perfected praise? Alright, so who's perfecting the praise out here right now, in these last days? It's the prophets, the men of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, the servants of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. So out of the mouth of babes and sucklings thou hast perfected praise. Alright, so let me get Matthew 11 for another precept, 25. It says, And at that time Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent. And I actually said this in my last lesson. The wise and prudent represents the Romans, who were the Edomites, because those were the ones who had the dominion and were looked at as wise and prudent in the times of Yahushua, right? He says, and thou hast revealed them unto babes. So Yahweh hid the truth from the wise and the prudent, meaning the Edomites, right? Because people consider the Edomites the wisest man on the earth right now. And Yahushua said, you hid the truth from them, but you revealed it unto babes. Right? Doesn't mean a little kid is going to know the truth, right? Little kids are better at receiving the truth if you bring them up from when they're young. But this is dealing with an elect, a prophet, okay? The babes are prophets. Let me get that word real quick. So, the babes are the prophets, and Yahweh hid the truth from who's considered the wise and the prudent. So that's what when you're reading about in Matthew 18, the little child, he actually represents the elect. It's a parable. And yeah, the other thing is kids are looked at as innocent, right? Well, the same thing with the prophets. We're looked at as innocent, with undefiled, like it tells you in Revelation. Let me get that real quick. Revelation 14:3. Well, let me get here. I'll start at 4. These are they which were not defiled with women. Women is represents philosophies. for they are virgins. See? So we're likened unto little ones. You know, little ones are not only as a young woman considered a virgin or a maiden, but we're the men, the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the prophets, are likened unto virgins because it also represents purity, innocence. You see? These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. So who follows Yahweh Shai wherever he goes? In every single generation, the prophets are regenerated, right? Right? They always find their lot. We always find our lot, no matter what captivity we've been in, no matter what lifetime we've been in. Our spirit has always been the spirit of a prophet, you see? And we're looked at as pure and like a virgin or like a small child, okay? Go back to Matthew. And it's this truth, right? Understanding this truth. It told you in the verse of Matthew where he said, you've hid it from the wise and prudent, but you've given it to the babes, right? So who's teaching this truth according to knowledge and properly, breaking down scriptures properly? It's the babes, man, who are Israelites, who are men of Israel. Matthew 18, and I'll read 4 again. It says, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Alright? So when they ask who's the greatest of heaven, Yahweh Shai is going to tell you are, man, if you can humble yourself. Because this truth will humble you, man. You know? Like we always tell you, when you have this truth, you're gonna spend a lot of time suffering, man. I remember I heard Elder Apostle Gabar say that, well, he says it a lot, but the first time I heard him say it, it was heavy, you know. Like, one of the things that we teach in this truth is if you're in this truth and you come into this truth and you're sincere, you're going to have to learn to suffer, man. So what does suffering do to a person? It humbles you. See? Why does it say, here is the patience and the faith of the saints? It means to suffer, all right? You're going to be humbled. You see? It's what it is, man. We have to suffer, man. Yahweh Shai chastens the ones that he loves, or Yahweh chastens the one he loves, right? Let me see if I can grab that. Hebrews 6 and 12. Well, I'm going to read this. It's the spirit that this came up. This is pertaining to what I'm talking about. Hebrews 6 and 12. That ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. So through our patience, which you go into that word patience, it means to suffer. Okay? So through the sufferings we inherit the promises. Yahweh Shai, man, did he not suffer? Yahweh Shai suffered at times just seeing the lack of faith and the lack of, and he was astonished. The scripture says that he was astonished whenever he saw Israel's lack of faith. See, and that's how we are. You know, we look at things and sometimes we just shake our head like, damn, you know. See this word babes. One of the things that kind of jumps out to me in the outline. It says untaught. See, not of age, unskilled, childish. See, we came into this truth. We were childish, man. I mean, come on. A lot of us, literally, we were childish. A lot of us. I know when we came into truth, we were spending hours upon hours playing fucking video games and shit like that, you know? And thinking that was the coolest shit around. And then when we came of age, we start to realize that, hey, we gotta let the childish things go. And really now, you may play a video game, but you're not gonna have the same energy or satisfaction if you're sincere in this truth that you do with the scriptures. Because I know myself, the days go by fast. You got to grind, you got to work, you got to have a schedule, you got to have a kind of an idea where you're going to set your time to study, when you're going to set your time to do your lessons. And so that's what it is. So a babe is literally untaught, all right? But guess what? Now we're coming of age. We're not untaught anymore, you know? We're going to wax strong in the spirit. And that's what it is, man. That's what that babe is. It's not talking about an actual little kid, right? But it was a metaphor. Matthew 18 and 5. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. All right. So he was giving you the metaphor for the prophet, right? Using a young child as an example. Okay. And whoever receives the prophets, the ones who can believe that we are the true prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and we do hold the truth, those are the ones who receive Yahweh Shai. And we're not out here to just, come on, man. You think a bunch of so-called black, Latino, and Native Americans are just going to go and do some fake phenomenon each and every day nowadays? Because prophets are putting videos out every day. Prophets are on the internet doing the camps, and we're all the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the ones doing it. And you mean to tell me that this is not of Yahweh? That we're out there doing this work with passion and a certain spirit is on us, to the point where even our families look at us different. People think, come on, man. I'm always being told I'm selfish, man. I'm being told that I'm crazy, I'm evil. And it's all coming from people that are close or have been close in my life, So we got to learn to suffer. We got to learn to endure, man. The word endure, it means to be made hard. It means to suffer. The word patience, I keep telling you, it means to suffer. You see? Let's see if I can get a little more information. See right here, another example of a babe. It says an immature Christian, right? So we're the true Christians. So before when we first came into the truth, yeah, we were immature in the truth. We had you would hear certain verses when you first start learning, and you're like, it catches your attention, but then you can't remember, if you're just listening in your car, and you hear something that catches your attention, but you don't document it, you don't write it down, and then all of a sudden one day you're reading, and then you're like, oh, that's where it was, because you find it, So at first we're just immature, though, like it says here, Childish. Yeah, I was gonna get that precept. Let me see. Salakia, bear with me. Yep, this is the one. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. One and 13. No, this ain't it. Hold on. 1 Corinthians 13:11 says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, and I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. You see? So we start out as babes in this truth, man, but this truth makes us a man, right? A child, sometimes it's hard for a child to endure hard things or to suffer, right? But throughout your experience, throughout your life, when you become a man, and really this truth is making us men. You know, now the childish things are behind us. You know. Now, you know what I mean? I mean, seriously, we have times where like we have free time, and what do we choose to do with our free time? We want to do this truth. You know, we may not have a lot of free time, but literally when we have time, the men who have this spirit on us, the babes, the prophets, the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, we're literally, you know, this is what we want to do. You know, so at least that's how I feel it, and I believe if you're an elect, you feel the same way, man. You don't, like, let's say you go nowadays, you should go sit there and play a video game or whatever, you know, do things that are gonna just vanity. Watch some, you know, even watching comedies. I can't watch movies because I used to like comedy movies, and now you see just it's a different. It vexes you sometimes. You see the comedies that they show, it's always wicked as hell, you know. And your spirit ain't in line like that no more, you know. This truth, man, it literally it changes a man for real. Let me go into one of my favorite verses. Ecclesiastes 1:18. It says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." Okay? Whew. Dang. So, that's always been a heavy verse to me, man. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So the more, you know, at first we're untaught, we're childish, but then as we get taught and learn and you know, really, you know, the Lord's will, His Spirit is on us, right? Well, guess what? The Lord's Spirit, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai's Spirit is a sorrowful spirit, man. You know? It's not like you read the scriptures and Yahweh Shai was just having the greatest time ever, you know? Like these Edomites, they preach the prosperity doctrine. They say if your life is, if you're able to do whatever you want, or you know, you have the money to do whatever you want, and the success to do whatever you want, then that means you're blessed. But in reality, it's the opposite, man. If you have all those things, you have to sacrifice all that. You see, Yahweh Shai had to sacrifice everything, including his own life. He was the sacrifice. You see? You think that didn't cause a you know, sorrow? Let's get Matthew 18. I'm at verse 6. It reads, "But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea." All right. So, you know, hey, if you have that spirit and you believe in your heart and your mind and your faith, you believe in Yahweh Shai, you believe you are one of the prophets of Israel, and it's okay to have this mindset that if people offend us, it's better. These people that offend us are better off just, like it says, jumping in the ocean with a big ass millstone wrapped around your neck, you know? Drowning. You're better off to do that than to offend the Lord's prophets. The Lord's going to take vengeance for his prophets, you know? You know? So, you know, you people can keep playing your games. But, you know, I know how it is. We'd be sitting there in traffic maybe just meditating like, man, when is this shit going to end? Like, when are these prophecies coming? You know, you want it to happen. You know, you think about it and you're just like, sometimes it's fearful when you think about it, you know? But it's like, shit, man. You want to stay in fucking Babylon forever? Or your kids, you got to worry about your kids' well-being, their safety, the way that Esau Edom and his society attacks our children. See? You can't go nowhere, man, without people just being wicked as hell right in front of your kids, man. You know? You people want to hang on to this shit, man? You know? Your woman, she can't even trust you because when she learns about the multiple wife doctrine, she thinks that that's all you think about is fucking, you know? And the true men of the Lord, hey, yeah, we do think about fucking, but we think about this truth, you know? Just as much, if not more, see? So, let me keep reading. Verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses. Woo! Kahalal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. I can't fucking wait, man. I can't wait till this destruction comes to this world. And because of your offenses, man. And because, you know what? I didn't choose to be a prophet, you see? None of us did. Yahushai chose us. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai chose us. So when he put this spirit on us, he separated us. You see? Yes, you gotta suffer. Yeah, we have to suffer, man. We're gonna suffer. Some of us to the point where we lose our own life, you see, on behalf of the truth. I'm ready for that, man. I mean, you brothers, we gotta pray for each other, but we gotta also pray that we're ready to endure, because Yahweh's gonna give you what it takes to endure whatever we have to go through if we are those men, you see? But you got to make yourself worthy to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua with the lessons and the studying. I mean, every brother that does a lesson sincerely, you may feel feeling down in the spirit, low in the spirit, you know, because the suffering we continually deal with. But then you do the scripture lesson, and the comforter, it literally just does just that, man. It brings comfort to you, man. These scriptures, I can't tell you how much comfort they bring to me. See? Let me read it again. Verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. See? Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. All right, this kind of, to me, this, you know, if I'm breaking this down right, Lord's will, this is talking about the body of Yahweh Shai, all right, which is the men. And sometimes even the brothers have to be cut off, man. It's happened. I've seen it happen. I've seen brothers cut themselves off, you know. We just recently had, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can see, 2 brothers just fell off in our camp, you know. And it's just crazy, man. When you know what I mean. I always give brothers benefit of the doubt, but it does blow my mind that you would come and do the work and then you would just dip out. But that's what we're reading about, because the body, right? Where if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into the life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. If thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with 1 eye, rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into the hellfire, which is that nuclear destruction. See? So this whole chapter is really metaphorically speaking about the prophets, the servants, the 144,000, the elect. See? So, you know, with that, I'm going to go ahead and I got to go, like I say, I'm on a schedule. You know, I try to keep the same schedule every day. I got to go get back out there and make some shekels, like Elder Apostle Tahar always says. But with that, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rukah Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth. a shalom to the elect.